Half-Life 64, yet again, this hat, it has a mind of its own, it keeps moving, I don't know why. Here for Lingfield Park, so trying to get out with light, in the background. A decent meeting actually. I don't quite remember why I booked it at the time, but I think it was about 30 quid to cost to King's Cross of tickets. So the train wasn't too bad, and it's not an awful cost of Lingfield, maybe £20 return, I can't remember, from Victoria. A bit of cock up with my time here. I mean, not the worst cock up because I ended up too late. I just marched too early. I thought it'd take about 70 minutes to get up. The days of me eating, frankly, in my house, I get them even earlier and having some food, cooking a meal and then getting a train. That's just gone past now a long time ago. Some birds in the air there, I was just noticing. That is a long time ago. So it's 70 minutes, 40 minutes to get out, have a shower, shave, and have 30 minutes for a metro. Although actually metro has been very unreliable last year, so actually it's more combined at time now, really. But that's just, I remember it knackered last night. I was come back from a Suggestible, very good improv monthly comedy thing I see at the Stand Comedy Club in Newcastle. And I accidentally gave myself 90 minutes of 70, so I'm here 40, and the metro came quite quickly. So here 40 minutes for my train, it's a complete cock up there. And I think we've knocked at least 20 minutes too late, more than too early as I've done the train, but that was obviously 40 minutes, it luckily would have been a disaster. So going to my birthday's on the 3rd of March, and I'm going out to Newcastle racecourse. I'm going my own, because I'm just not into racing at all. I'm going up to people's local pub on Saturday night, that is it. There. So we've got this, I've got... Oh, I don't know, there's a question. Yes, I'm going to track a bit off my birthday of what's happening. Next week on Saturday, it's the Wolverhampton Stakes at Wolverhampton. I've been trying to get to for a few years now, and every time I try and avoid this, that light there. And as I think I said, in 19, it must have been 2022, I think, has to have been, because I couldn't make, 2020 for some reason I couldn't do. I'm trying to think about that meeting. People are yelling and... a few people yelling around here for some reason. It's about 5:50 in the morning. 1 year I was trying to get there. There's a cheap way via Wolverhampton, very cheap way, it used to be cheaper frankly, via Wolverhampton, via Carlisle. And 1 year then there was a track renovation between Newcastle and Carlisle, which meant, oh no, I'll do that the next year, because it was A, slower both ways, and B, it's more expensive. Then the track renovation somewhere between Carlisle and Wolverhampton, I'm not quite sure where it was, or do a year after. Then it looked like it was a memorisation, it looked like it was a twilight meeting on the overnight coach back. In fact, actually, according to it was definitely sure it's more twilight meeting, be it's a website of fixtures. And then it ended up, and then it was the same time this year, and I then looked it up, I checked it, and it was like 2:40. Same last year as well. Why it was called, I'm sure, BSA Fixtures definitely originally said it was a twilight meeting. I'm sure, I know that, because I remember reading it. Whether they changed their mind about it, I don't know. There's 2:40 start, even as I said in an earlier video about when I mentioned this. It's only 10 minutes later when Ascot starts. And that's even without Ascot adding a 7th race, and it's still start at 2:30, just end later. So now going to that one, I got Kelso 2 weeks after, so yeah, I'm not sure the date is totally here. I think it's a Saturday, a couple weeks after that, a couple of Kempton. Thinking I haven't sorted out, so I hope the train's not too expensive. We're going on the Thursday, we've got a national meeting. I mentioned that as well, I think, and earlier. So video, I've had to combine these videos, so I've never put anything out at the moment. Have a look at the Lord's Rider Roof ticket, which is my favourite view in racing. Always got that to view when I go into Aintree. I've gone about 10 times, and I've always had that view. And at Chelmsford City, I do not like Chelmsford City, but there's a listed race taking place. And I want to get to Chelmsford Filly Stakes. I'll have to get the overnight coach or stay overnight. I'm not sure yet. Actually, I don't know. I can't get the overnight coach. I think it's not impossible. I think I'll have to look at maybe staying overnight or doing something. That's the only option, because it's an evening meeting. It's difficult to get out of great leave. Right, time left in this final race. I'd have to look into what I do there, whether I stay overnight, but it's just how cheap you want to spend. As I looked last night, I was just checking something. One of the fixture list with start times, basically not start times, but a waste. They were start time maybe, but waste details came on the BHA fixture website. It used to be 2 months in advance, so something's very erratic. And I put all time of April up, but I didn't have time last night. I want to go to bed, you know. I was just about 5 hours sleep maybe, something like that. And I want to go to bed, and I just couldn't deal with it. I'll do that one at some point, probably some maybe what day? Maybe tomorrow. I've got 2 talks now. I mentioned certain things. I keep on this Dante course with Workers Education Association on Zoom. I got between 1 and 2:30. Originally thought it was 3 o'clock. It's after 2:30. I have to listen to it while I'm in the meeting, and sometimes put a comment to Zoom every so often, just to make sure because I don't have to, because I'll keep the camera and video and audio off. For obvious reasons, you don't really, on my side, because you don't want it blaring out, having everyone else be disturbed by the background in Lingfield Park. The video is battery runs out more than anything else. You keep the video on for too long, so keep the video turned off. Just to make sure people think I'm alive, at least, you know. It can come an issue. I think somewhere if you don't have. We can almost some mark is not present if you're not going to want at least some sort of presence that you notice that you're actually there rather than just having something on and disappeared off. So that was I was going to say something else, but I'm not sure I was. So no, I think that would be it. But I said something else because this is a cheap train ticket. That's why I'm here so early. And it as well. I mean 6:20. I don't see it that early normally at Lingfield. So there's a cheap train ticket. So only once I've maybe twice been to Take Britain. There are a few hours at hand before I need to get to Lingfield, so I'll probably do that for a couple of hours. I just haven't been around there. Let's see, it was Turner, and I have to say I'm not Turner's a very good artist, but I'm more a fan of his earlier stuff, like in Hemingway. His later stuff, the famous stuff actually, with a lot of more light origin stuff. I'm less fan of. Last time I saw them anyway, I've changed my view. I don't know. I haven't seen them in about 10 years probably. Last time maybe when I had a day when I went to his house. When there was very late closing, I had 10 o'clock at night. I went to the National Gallery Tate Museum and just for an entire day, just to go around both. And then afterwards I've got British Museum because again I got a few hours before the train turns up, leads me to Newcastle, and then there's a track renovation thing. I had to thought that was last week for a while, and I was going to check the train time for the day. It wasn't actually this week, and I'm going to get into Newcastle 2:55 in the morning because there's a replacement service in York and Newcastle and take over now longer than it should normally would do. Because not only is it on the coach, but also it has to sort of divert to the stations. Probably North Hamilton, I think. I don't know if I've got a place in North Hamilton actually. The train certainly will stop in North Hamilton. I don't remember actually putting up at North Hamilton. I do the other station in the line, I certainly do. Well, main line, not first, because it's not on the main line. But as such, it's in the area, it's not, our trains don't stop it. Not too small station, first to have places the train stop. So I think that'll be it. I mean, I've got other stuff. I've probably forgotten one or two meetings I might be doing, but I think at the minute that's it. Just a quick glance at being in here. Yeah, ticket again at Lingfield Park. Haven't sent me any tickets. The only racecourse thing to do with this, I was being Lingfield quite recently, middle of last month, and the same thing happened. And actually, only realised when I got to the racecourse that this hadn't happened. That is, look at the email sort of confirmation number, so that was okay. But the problem was that I know it was yesterday. I checked and I've not done it. I remembered it, but I forgot to do it. Then I remember yesterday said I emailed them, sorry, can send me a ticket, basically. Kind of polite, but basically haven't done it. And they said, can Jason check your junk mail folder or something. I just hate it. I've used email for nearly 30 years. I'm not an idiot. That sounds unkind to people, but I know what I'm doing. And so I said, no, I said a little bit, no, it's initially I think my reply was, no, it's not for me. And that sounds not very polite reply, not too rude. No. But, please just send me a bloody ticket. Oh, send it to me again. I mean, you can only use the same ticket once. I mean, if you think of asking someone else, well, frankly, it's the same ticket. You should not use system should stop someone using the same ticket 2 times. And they said, oh, it's okay, we're going to somebody send it to you, and it still hasn't happened. Someone certainly has to, unless they do it, happens to on the day, maybe it might happen today. As you go over and there's some reservation again. My domain name can be a little unreliable, getting emails, I know it's that. But every other racecourse seems to sort this out, apart, frankly, from Lingfield. So the final race here at Lingfield. Sat with people preparing. It's just a little cold, and I just couldn't be bothered. Shock news. No successful betting at all. I slightly improved as I think I went from something like my horse came third last, then fourth last, and then fifth last. Unfortunately, last races it got back down again. Absolutely no winning at all. I changed my plans afterwards. I'm going to actually go to out to the northeast of London to God's Own Junkyard. It is a place that stay open really late. And I might do it because my train's only 9:30, but it's the museum closes at 8, 8:30, something like that. There's God's Own Junkyard. There's with Victor Windermere. There's a third one I couldn't quite remember. I had to look I vaguely remembered one of the names was a junkyard name, and I had to look somebody's up to try and work out what it was. And I took this sundown. I think I had a few hours, but they're a little out of the way in the northeast. All three of them were. I can't remember the third one at all. And it just didn't feel I had enough time. Here I do, and the same business gym is going to be stuck for an hour after. I was saying before, I don't really fancy drinking. So partially looking for a station. I felt it's overpriced. And an issue I was saying with my breakfast and charge of service charge where I wanted. I thought it was ridiculous. It was overpriced to start off with. It was only okay, and it wasn't overly pleased with the whole thing really. And I wanted somewhere I'd sit down in a pub. I mean, I've got going out with friends tomorrow night for my birthday. It's actually on Monday. I'll go racing on my own then because none of my friends are interested in racing, even in Newcastle. So I'll probably pop over on Monday after I haven't decided a definite. Could have even possibly with them do a Kelso meeting actually tomorrow, more battle hurdles. It's done well heavily in value, but I mean a couple of people can make Saturday, so if they don't drink with me, so I'll do that instead. And I can't get back from Kelso to go to a local pub. What a bit of an embarrassing situation, and some headphones. I thought unreliable. Like the Zoom. I had a friend of mine doing a lecture on Baldwin. She was lecture on Stanley Baldwin this morning, and I was listening to it while I was in the Tate Britain, and it just about held it together. Sometimes the internet connection, all the Wi-Fi connection as well, but it wasn't always working. But I got some headphones, Bluetooth headphones, and one of them power was a little bit quicker, and it went out before the end of the talk. Switched to headphones, and I forgot what had happened previously. And some of these ones, if you turn connecting calls off in Bluetooth headphones, it doesn't connect. It just doesn't notice the Bluetooth headphones are there. And why this specific one? Once done with batteries of a few hours less, didn't have this issue. The reason I forgot they did, and suddenly I'm trying to connect back on again, and see my friend is on the phone, and I hear some people take to hear my friend. I'm like volume talking about Baldwin here, because they're not the volume down, but we connect. But when they started Zoom, it's not the volume like to a top, and I think, oh my God, I turned Zoom off twice. I think the second time I did it, first time, and the second time I turned volume down, and Zoom connected again at high volume. The second time I do it, I just quickly closed Zoom basically. Know what was going on, then realised, that's what the problem was. Of course it is. I've got the same problem actually. No, not this week. Next week. Week after. What day am I getting old? No, because I was saying I'm going to Cheltenham Festival in 2 weeks' time. I've got the same problem with this and with Dante talk. Then as well. I tend to always leave there's a talk. Rather than saying playing anything on the phone, sometimes I will play something I've had doing racing on my own. I just play something on Bluetooth, just a talk, or maybe sometimes music. A very interesting, great fan of podcast, My Time Capsule, Michael Fenter Stevens. A very enjoyable interview. We've got now on a quarter of Lee Mack, and the podcast we get these guests give 5 things they want to put in a time capsule they like and one they bury. It's very enjoyable, and it was really worth listening to. Done about, I think, during lockdown as such, because he's done it for a few years, like a lot of people, and that's when the back into actually took place. I downloaded quite a lot of them and listened to quite a few by now. So yeah, so God's Own Junkyard back in to go to Warsaw Central on the tube. So there's going to be a zone 2, maybe it's like even zone 3, I'm not sure. 45 minutes from Victoria as such, so just go to tube 2. I think Walker Central must be the same, must be storyline, I think. I'm at about maybe 20-minute walk. You must make sure I'm back with my train though at that 9:30. So I got a pen there with me as in the first stage 5 in the morning. I now realise I have a Zoom talk on Northeast Asian Egypt Society. And I thought it was at 2 o'clock, and when I got out here today, I thought, oh God, no, it's a bleeding conference. Well, it's not Zoom, it's a Meets, actually Google Meets. Is that Google Meets? Is that Google? That's Microsoft? No, it's not Meets, what's the Microsoft? It's a Teams, sorry, I think it's a Teams talk rather, I'm not sure, it's not Zoom anyway. And I said, oh God, it's off at 10, I won at 10, I think it was a very obscure subject, I might give that a miss. But I'm going to get it at 4, and I'm going to want to get up for something at 10:30 in the morning. It's going to be a bit, I hope you'll stay awake for it.